my name is Hannah. Welcome to a new reset vlog for January. So this is kind of an exciting reset vlog because it's a reset for the month, but also a reset for the new year. So that's kind of awesome. So in this video, I'm going to talk about my reading plans for this month, as well as some of the anticipated releases that I'm excited for. I'm going to plan for my month in January and for the first week of January. I'm not sure when this video is going to go up though, because I've got some other videos that in the timeline should come before this, so this might not come out until the middle of January, but that's okay. And then I stopped using a reading journal in December. So for the past I don't know, 4 years, I've used a physical journal where I've written out my TBR and the books I've read and book hauls and stuff like that. But instead of getting another physical reading journal, I've decided to include it into my planner, because my reading journal used to be my creative crafty outlet. But since I've got a planner now, I feel like I like to focus on that way more. So for December, I made just a page that I can insert, because I've got the happy planner, so I can put in pages. So I think this is going to be what I'm going to do from now on, is just do a page of my books read, because that's honestly the only spread that I really like, is the books read and then the little printout of the covers and stuff. So that's what I'm going to be doing for at least the foreseeable future. And then I'm not really sure what else I'm going to include in this reset vlog. It's going to be kind of a fun surprise for all of us. So let's just go ahead and talk about my reading plans for this month. So the big reading plans this month are to reread the Crescent City books, so House of Earth and Blood and House of Sky and Breath, because as we all know, or I'm sure we all know, House of Flame and Shadow gets released at the end of this month, January 30th. We've been waiting so long, and I can't believe it's literally in a month. I think this is my most anticipated book release ever. But yeah, I want to reread the series so that I am well and truly prepared for when that one comes out on January 30th. I have taken 2 days off of work. I get 2 personal days every school year, and I use them both for this book release. This is my Super Bowl. This is my Olympics. This is everything, and I'm so excited. I'm going to be going on release day to go pick up 2 copies of the book, and then I've got 2 days to, one, read it, but also to kind of try to recover. So I will be reading both Crescent City books before then, and then I will be reading House of Flame and Shadow when it gets released. I also want to reread A Court of Silver Flames before the release of House of Flame and Shadow. I intended to annotate these originally, but now I don't know if I'm gonna have time to, so I might just be rereading them, and that's that. Definitely gonna reread these. Now, I had intended to do my tandem read and finish my reread of the Throne of Glass series in 2023, but time just got away from me. Also, the fact that I am annotating this series, it just takes even longer, which is not a bad thing. I love annotating, but I was trying to finish rereading the series before House of Flame and Shadow got released. So again, this month is just full of Sarah J. Maas reads. But if I have time to get to these before House of Flame and Shadow gets out, plus Kingdom of Ash, then I will be doing that. But these aren't if I don't get to them, I'm not going to be heartbroken by it, because I've read these so many times. But I am doing my reread, so I figured I would mention them just in case I do pick them up. I also will for sure be getting to In Silence and Submission by Gillian Eliza on AO3. This is a hand-bound copy, very kindly gifted to me by my friend Mel from Mel Bites Fix. We are doing kind of a buddy read with Lachlan and Cami, and we're going to read this one in January. It's very short, yeah, 220 pages, so it'll be a quick little smutty Dramini time, and I'm really excited for this one. So just so nice to have Mel make the physical copy for us so we can all buddy read it. So I'll be reading that one in January for sure. And then this one she also included in my little Christmas gift box from her, which is a Senlethian Dramini collaboration. So the artist Alethian Art and Senlin Yu did a collaboration where I think it's just short stories and one-shots, but they Alethian created art for it as well, which is really cool. So I'm not entirely sure like what to expect with this one, but I'll be reading this in January as well. And then, if I manage to finish all of that and still have time before House of Flame and Shadow comes out, I want to pick up Blood and Steel by Helen Shore. I've heard really, really good things about this one, and I'm so excited to read it. I got my physical copy of it. I'm ready to go. I don't know much about it, if I'm being honest. It's just like I'm in a fantasy romance reading mood, and so I want to pick this one up. And then same goes for Flame and I almost said Flame and Shadow. Can you tell what's on my mind? Flame and Sparrow by S.M. Gaither, which is book 1 in a duology fantasy romance. This is the same author as the Song of the Marked, so the Shadows and Crowns series, which I think I'm going to try to give a second chance to that series this year, where I can just like binge read the series, because I think taking time, like months off in between books, was to that series' detriment, because I forgot a lot of things and then I started losing interest. So I think I'm going to try to read it all like back to back to back at some point in 2024. But I really wanted to get to Flame and Sparrow because I've heard that it's really, really fun and such a good like fantasy romance time. And I've seen some quotes from this that got me hooked. So I'm excited to read this one as well. And then there are some January anticipated releases for me. So the next book in the Wayward Children series, which is called Mislaid in Parts Unknown or something like that, by Shauna McGuire. I love the Wayward Children series, but I'm going to be honest. This one, I'm not a dinosaur person. It's the one that I'm least excited about, but maybe it'll blow me out of the water because I really, really do love the Wayward Children series, and I love how Shauna McGuire writes these short novellas. So I'll be picking that one up when it comes out. I think it comes out January 9th. And then the next Emily Wilde book comes out, Emily Wilde's Map to the Other World or something like that. I did really enjoy the first Emily Wilde book, so I'll be picking this one up hopefully this month. If not, then I'll try to pick it up in February. And then also The Fury by Alex Michaelides. I think this is his third book. I've read The Silent Patient and The Maidens, and I really enjoyed both. So I'm going to pick this one up at some point as well. But yeah, those are my reading plans for the month. I'm hoping that because I really don't have anything going on in January, I have no plans as of right now, I'm hoping that I can get a lot of good reading done. And honestly, I feel like I can do all of my Sarah J. Maas rereads, plus get to some of these other books that I'm really excited for. So I think it's just going to be a really good start to the year. I'm really excited, and I think I'm kicking off the year with a lot of really good books. All right, so now we're going to go get into my planner and plan out for January and then the first week of January, which it's nice because the first day of January starts on a Monday. So it's like the first 7 days are all on this one page. It's just very satisfying. And then also to make my like reading journal page that I will be inserting into here. So let's go do that. This good girl. Hi. Oh my. Who's a good girl? Yes, you are. Okay, I decided that I'm going to do a little bit of an unhaul in this video. I was gonna do its own separate video, but then I was looking at my shelves like, I don't really have that many that I want to get rid of. So I'm just gonna include it in here because there's only a few. So we're gonna start on this shelf. This book, if you saw, I think I posted it on my Instagram story at some point. Not for me. No, thank you. This is the book I bought literally just because it's in Gilmore Girls. It's the book that Jess steals from Rory and like writes notes in the margins. So I thought it was gonna be cute and read it, and no. Just throw that there. Other than that, on this shelf, I think most things are gonna stay. I did order or pre-order the paperback of A Sinister Revenge because I'm a paperback bitch, but it doesn't come out in paperback right away, so I had to wait a whole year. I had to get the hardcover, and the same thing is going to happen with the next one. I ordered the hardcover, and I will immediately replace it when the paperback becomes available. So I will be unhauling this. I don't know if I want to get rid of it like right now until my paperback replacement comes, because I think it comes out in February. So I will get rid of this and replace it with the paperback, but I might just leave this on my shelf until that one comes, but this one is going to go and be replaced. On this shelf, so I didn't actually read this one. I don't have any plans to. I got it for really cheap at Goodwill, and I thought that I was going to read it, but I lost interest completely, so I'm going to get rid of that one. And then Dark Corners, I am also going to get rid of. I liked it. It was fine. I'll never reread it. I liked The Night Swim, which is the first book in this like thriller series. I like that one way more. I would reread that one, so that one's staying. This one can go. And The Last Time I Lied, I haven't had this on my shelf in forever because I've been lending it out to people. My mom read it. I had a coworker read it. I did really, really enjoy this one, but I'll probably never reread it, so that can go. Same with The Only One Left. I enjoyed it. It was super fun in the moment. Won't ever reread it. That's the thing with thrillers, is I won't reread them. I'm a huge Riley Sager fan. I have loved all of his books except one. So I'll still be picking up a copy of his newest book in the summer when it comes out. But after I read it, I'll lend it out to my mom and my coworker, and then I'll probably get rid of it again. But that one can go. That's gonna stay. These ones now, normally I wouldn't get rid of any of these, but I've kind of been losing interest in the Saga series. I've given so many of these volumes 5 stars, and I really, really love it, but they took a hiatus for, I want to say about 5 years after the 10th, was it the 10th volume? No, after the 9th volume. And then the 10th volume came out, and I was not really a fan of it, so I really am losing interest. Like, I don't even know if I want to continue the series anymore or not. So I could just unhaul all 10 volumes of this. This is a maybe. Those 10 volumes are a maybe. I'll come back to that. I'm going to unhaul The Martian. I did really like this one, but I'm not going to ever reread the book. I like the movie, and I know that's like a sacrilegious thing to say as a reader, but I won't ever reread the book. I way prefer Project Hail Mary to The Martian. It was really good. I really liked it, but I don't need it anymore. My fantasy romance shelf, I have the Highland Dragons Lady. I just got this from a local bookstore, and I'm not gonna read it. I read like the first chapter, and I'm just not interested. I also think I might let go of The Serpent and the Wings of Night hardcover because, as we know, as I've said many times, I'm a paperback bitch, and I have the paperback now, and I'm gonna get the rest of the series in paperback. So there's really no need for me to hang on to the hardcover. I mean, it is really pretty. Ooh, don't fall. It's really pretty, but I don't know. I just feel like I don't need to keep it. I'll set this one down gently. I think I'm gonna get rid of the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition of Empire of the Vampire because I just don't need to have so many copies of books that I love. Like, I like having multiple copies on my Sarah J Maas shelf, but I'm kind of over like having to own multiple copies and editions because they really just sit on my shelf. Like, I don't pull this out and look at the art pretty much ever, so I think I'm just gonna get rid of this one because this other one is way more special because it was gifted to me from Lachlan. I have the alternate dust jacket that Lachlan gifted me, and then she also wrote a little love note in it for me, so I'm definitely keeping that one. So this one I can let go of. On this shelf, I think I'm gonna get rid of Piranesi. I really liked it, but I probably will never reread it, so I don't want to hang on to it. And then this blue fairy book I've had for so long because it's just really pretty and I like fairies, but it's just like full of old fairy tales and I feel like I don't need this, so I'm gonna get rid of it. And Gallant, I liked when I read it, but I don't know, I just don't want to keep it anymore. I'm also going to get rid of this copy of Foxglove by Adeline Grace. I did not enjoy this one. In fact, I DNF'd it. It's like the special first edition printing with like the cool stuff on it, but I'm good to leave it with Belladonna. I really liked Belladonna, and then I did not like the direction that this one went in. So I probably won't continue with the final book, and I just want to get rid of this one because it makes me upset. So getting rid of this one. I have multiple copies of One Dark Window, which I did DNF. I do think I would give this book a second shot, but I certainly don't need 2 copies of the exact same thing, so one of these can go. And then the last book that I'm going to get rid of is All Your Perfects by Colleen Hoover. I won't ever reread it, so that's going to go. I'm actually going to move Fangirl as well because I'm going to go put it on my like nostalgic shelf because it is nostalgic for me. Plus, I need to make room for Loveless because it was just chilling up there, and the new Magnolia Parks book when that one comes out. It needs to have space, so I'm gonna move this one, but I'm keeping it. So yeah, just a little mini unhaul. It turned out to not be so many. I did not think that there was gonna be that many, but there's over 10 here, so let's see how many. So here's a little stack of all the books that I'll be unhauling. It's 15 books, so that's not too bad for a quick little unhaul. And technically, A Sinister Revenge, I am unhauling that one. I'm just going to keep it on my shelf until the replacement comes. So yeah, I will be getting rid of that one, but I'm going to keep it for right now. So this is the unhaul. Okay, it's the next day, and I decided I'm gonna unhaul Blame It on the Duke as well, which is one that I literally just bought when I was with Lachlan. But I think I bought this just from like the excitement of wanting to buy books, which I do sometimes, but it's okay. It was like $2 or something like that. I'm not that worried about it, but I'm not gonna read this. So these 2 books I literally bought and immediately unhauled. This one I read a little bit of it and was like not interested, and then this one I didn't even like, I flipped through the pages and I was like, nah, I'm good. But the other one I bought when I was with Lachlan at that little bookstore, I am going to keep that one at least for a bit because I do think I would like that one. And then I did actually decide that I'm going to unhaul all 10 of my saga volumes because honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I lost interest, and the more I think about it, the more like frustrated and annoyed I get. So I'm just gonna, take these away and unhaul them. All right, so the last thing that I wanted to do for this reset was to talk about my goals for the year. Last year, I think I had a lot of like unofficial goals. Actually, let me grab my reading journal and see what I wrote down, because I know I definitely did a spread. Yeah, okay. So I said that I wanted to read 100 books in the year, which I did. I wanted to read all of my 23 books to read in 2023, which I did not. I wanted to use my Kindle more, which technically I did use my Kindle more because I didn't have a Kindle before, so read any bought books within a month of buying them. I have no idea if I did that. I did not keep track of that at all. And then try to buy from Amazon less, which I don't. I think it was about 50-50 versus like using Pango Books and buying books elsewhere versus buying from Amazon. So I don't know if that's less. I don't know. I didn't really keep track of my goals is what I'm saying. But I did end off the year with reading 159 books. So I definitely reached my goal of reading 100 books. That was my Goodreads goal. This year, however, I am taking a bit of a different approach to my goals. So I have one goal that I am setting for myself. And basically, it's like what you would see on a t-shirt and in like a touristy shop or something, or like a motivational poster that you would see in some like guidance counselor's office or something. And that is just to do more of what makes me happy. That is my only goal for 2024. So I talked about how I kind of struggled in 2023, especially with like my mental health. It was probably the worst mental health year that I've had since I was like an adolescent. And I struggled a lot with like comparing myself to other people and having imposter syndrome and feeling like just really bad about myself, which is not great and it's not fun. I was trying to do all of these things that just like weren't making me happy and like weren't serving me and like bringing me joy, as cheesy as that sounds. I feel like ever since I started my channel, I feel like this pressure to read certain books or to read a certain amount of books, or I'll feel this guilt whenever I try to do something that's not reading. Like if I have free time and I want to watch a movie, I'll go, oh, I can't watch that movie because I should be reading. I need to read all these books. I have to read all these things. I have to make content. And it took away a lot of like the fun of reading. Like I want to get back to how I felt when I was reading in high school. Like when I could just go to a bookstore and pick out a book and just read it whenever I had time to read. And then when I finished that, I would go pick out a new one. And everything was just like fun. Reading was just so fun and it didn't feel like a chore. Like I did really enjoy my reading last year, but I feel like it started to feel more like a task I had to complete rather than like a fun hobby that I have. I don't know if that's making any sense, but basically what I'm trying to say is that I want to get back to the joy of reading for reading's sake and not feeling like I have to read all these books or I have to read a lot of books and I have to be reading constantly. And basically, I just want to be able to do things that make me happy. I'm not setting a reading goal for the year. If I read 10 books, cool. If I read 200 books, cool. Like, I'm not setting a Goodreads reading goal. It's a working mindset. I'm trying to, like, this isn't just like, okay, we flip the page to 2024 and I'm able to do all these things and like my mindset is completely different. I'm gonna have to work towards like rewiring my brain for certain things. So I'm going to try to go in with the mindset of I don't care how many books I read as long as I'm enjoying reading. And also I will be DNFing more books. I feel like I would read books and if I was like feeling very mid about them, like yeah, it's fine, but I wasn't like actively enjoying them, I would still try to finish that book. Now my mindset is going to be, well, hopefully I'm going to try to work towards my mindset being if I'm not actively enjoying a book, I'm not reading it. That doesn't necessarily mean that it's like a DNF forever, but that it's just maybe not the right time for it, because there have been several times where I've read a book and it wasn't the right time for it, and when I pick that book up at a different time, I end up loving it. So I'm going to be trying to adopt that mindset again where I can like set books down and set books aside without feeling guilty that I didn't finish it. I am a mood reader. I know that about myself, and I feel like anytime where I have like books on my physical TBR or books that I'm like, I need to get to these, or I like try to like almost punish myself. Like, you know, you have these books on your physical TBR, you need to read these ones first before you can read what you really want to read. And then I'm not in the mood for these books at the time, so my enjoyment is less for them. And then by the time I get to the book that I really wanted to read, at the time I wanted to read it, my mood has changed. And so I'm like, well, you wanted to read this one so bad, now you gotta read it. So I just need to get out of that mindset. So yeah, that's my big like mindset shift going into 2024. Hopefully I can do it. Like I said, it's a working mindset. I'm going to have to like actively try to work on it because my brain still wants to like stay in this one way of thinking. So it's going to be a shift. It's going to be a shift. But that is my only goal for 2024, is to just do more of what makes me happy and get back to like having fun for fun's sake and not feel guilty for doing other things that bring me joy just because I'm not constantly reading and not, you know, having 100 and something books read in a year. With that said, hopefully we can all do more of what makes us happy and have a good just year in general, a good reading year, a good mental health year, a good year all around. I'm really excited for this year. There's so many books that I'm really excited to get to, and there's so many things that I'm excited to do in 2024. And I'm very hopeful that it's going to be a great year and it's going to be better than last year. So thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know what your 2024 goals or your mindset is going to be for this year. Let me know what books you're looking forward to reading and starting the year off with. If you made it to the end of this video, leave the penguin emoji because I have little penguins on my planner sitting right here and they're adorable. So leave me the penguin emoji down in the comments down below if you want to let me know that you made it to the end of this video. And thank you again so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And I will see you all in my next video. Bye.